Excuse me. Oh! Put about 6 feet from the cup. What a shot. I don't want you ever adjusting the thermostat again. Do you understand?
This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four and nothing more. Andy, Funny February is kicked off with a bang, and Christian laid down the groundwork with funny comedians last week. This week, we're moving into something a little different. We actually have two of our favorite people coming to visit us this week. And I'm going to be honest, if you guys don't stick around and watch this whole show, I'm going to be a little upset with my community.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Because we are bringing on two of this is going to be kind of an achievement for both of them, but two best friends, two friends that are both aspiring YouTubers. We're going to bring on our kids.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
It's going to be fun, man. So today, normally we wait to introduce the guests later, but we'll just tell you now, we've got Zoe, my daughter, my oldest, and we've got Canon, your youngest, right?
Yeah.
We're there. It's going to be a blast. Like you said, Canon.
So Zoe is 9, almost 9.
Almost 9.
And Canon is almost 8. So it is going to be quite a show. And today, what are we going to do today? What are we going to do?
We kind of went back and forth on some things. We're going to keep it in the comedy theme, but we're both funny guys, right?
Funny guy! Right here!
Kirk, you and I, both funny
looking, funny smelling, funny.
Yeah. And we'll probably talk about some of that today, because today's topic is top 4 Rushmore of funny things about your dad. And I already know Zoe's list.
I got Canon's list.
A little bit of possible embarrassment.
Quite embarrassing, a little bit.
But it'll be fun. It's all going to be good fun. So stick around. Hey, look, before we get into it today, make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting all of the bells and whistles and doing all that fun stuff so you know when we post new content. It's a blast. We're just kind of kicking off this year. So many cool things in store for this year that I'm so excited about.
Andy, we are moving quite quickly over the first of the year. We have subscribers have moved up. Viewership has moved up. We picked 2 amazing topics for January and February, and we're not stopping. We have this thing mapped all the way out till June, and I'm putting a challenge out there to you guys. We are trying to hit that 1,000 mark before the end of this year. Yes. So if you guys could help us out, get into that 1,000 subscribers, we would appreciate it. And let's jump into the show, man. I am super excited to welcome on our kiddos. So funny things. Rushmore of funny things that your dad does. Let's get it.
Let's get it. All right, Rushmore Show. Here we go. We're excited for this. Bringing the kids on. Welcome Zoe to the Rushmore Show.
What's up, Zoe? And welcome my boy, Canon. Let's go.
So excited for you guys to be here. Now, Canon, you are an aspiring YouTuber. You guys are going to be starting, you and your dad, right? Talk about that for just a second. What are you guys going to be doing on your YouTube or your streaming?
We are going to do where I learn games from when he was a kid.
What?
Yeah, so we are going to do, it's going to be called the Retro Canon, and we're going to play retro games on a retro Pi with Canon. So Canon's going to learn all the old games that we played back in the day. Actually, I'm stealing this, Francisco, from you, but we're going to call it NES Quest and SNES Quest and Genesis Quest. Yeah, so we got a little NES Quest coming up. So We'll do a little bit of Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo. We got a little retro Pi ready to rock. Now, hold on.
This big.
Hold on. We have been watching and another aspiring YouTuber kicking her show off with her dad recently. Zoe, what have you guys been doing?
Okay, so it's called the Girl Dad.
Yeah. What do we do on the Girl Dad?
We like make fun food, we do challenges, and I don't know what's coming up next.
Well, I saw just last night you guys did a pizza party.
It was so fun. We've had so much we've had so much pizza the past week. It's been insane. So, and that's what's for dinner tonight too. So that's just where we're at. But
you guys went to Crumble Cookies. You did some alphabet dinner, lunch, and breakfast or something. Y'all were rocking.
No,
it was pretty cool. I love the
boba tea for the first time. It was fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Boba tea.
It's been a lot of fun.
You got you some Boba Fett? I like Boba Fett.
Do you like Boba Fett?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Wait.
She knows Grogu.
Oh, yeah.
Canon, you like Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Do you like Boba tea?
I don't know what Boba tea is. I know who Boba Fett is, but I don't know what Boba tea is.
Is Boba Fett one of your favorite Boba teas?
We're just children.
Or just one of your favorite Mandalorians? All right. Well, look, guys, Zoe, I am so excited. Welcome to the show. We have been waiting almost a year for this. Canon, welcome to the show. Canon has kept saying, when am I getting my chance? When am I getting my chance? And I figured funny February would be a great time. And today, you guys are going to lead our show off by telling us the top 4, the Rushmore of things that embarrasses you because Dad does some funny stuff, right?
That's
all right. So we are going to kick this thing off. Zoe, do you want to go first or do Canon want to go first?
I don't.
How about we rock, paper, scissors? You ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, live.
Live, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, that's no scissors. Keep going. Scissors, scissors again. Oh, Zoe wins. Zoe, do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
Second.
Okay.
Second.
All right. So to the second half. All right.
Canon is going to go with number 4, his Rosie, right? So your Rosie of top 4 things that embarrasses your dad. What would you tell the Rushmore community about your dad?
So it's when we're driving in the car, someone honks at Dad, and then he just honks back the same thing, but even louder.
Yeah. So give me an example.
So like he's like. So the person like, and then he was like,
So what he's saying is either Dad's messing around on his phone or the radio or yelling at the kids or talking to the wife.
Yeah.
And somebody gives you that little polite beep, beep, or sometimes the beep. And Dad always goes, beep, beep. And I honk back at him.
I have been in the car when you've done that before, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I love it.
All right, so Rosie, starting the show off fun. Most embarrassing things that Dad does, honks back at the people honking at him. All right, but louder, and more obnoxious.
True.
All right, okay.
How about wait, hold on. How about when they drive by? And I got to give them another little honk. Beep, beep. I heard you.
Yeah, that's funny too.
I always tell them, they're saying hello. I just saying hello back. All right. So there's our Rosie.
Nice.
Coming in hot. Canon, you are now official. Zoe, time to make you officially a part of the Rushmore community. What is your Rosie, your number 4?
Okay.
My number 4 is he always farts in my room. Let me give you an example.
Oh, that's a good one.
Me getting dressed comes in.
I don't know.
Wait.
I think that's Amelia. I don't know if that's me.
No, that's you.
Is it
Wait,
me?
that's not frogs? You don't have
butt.
frogs in your bedroom? There's not some frogs in the bedroom?
Yeah, well, if you would pick up all the barking spiders out of there, wouldn't have the problem.
Stop.
They do. Yeah, they make rules where I can't do that.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. First off, Canon had this on ours. This is going to be a Benjamin, since we're not doing Benjamin today, but this was a Benjamin. This is going to be. And Canon mentioned that, yeah, it's embarrassing or funny when dad farts, but I think it's a rite of passage for being a dad.
Passage.
Oh, there you go. Passage. Yeah, it's a rite of passage.
But then we took it out.
Yeah.
Let's be honest real quick. Farts are funny. Like, can we get that out there? Let's put it out in the air, right? Let's
wait. let me just address an elephant in the room. Now, this is going to go deep. Canon. How many times has mom and dad talked about this? We've talked. We can't believe that there are actually wives out there that have not farted in front of their husbands.
Yeah.
And there are. We've had friends tell us. And I'm like, wait, how long have you been together? How long you been together? I mean, it's just
how do you know if you really love them?
Yeah, I mean,
I want to know.
And let's be honest, we always love the smell of our own fragrance.
Everyone loves their own brand. For sure, yes. Anyway.
I don't like your brand, though.
I don't like your brand.
Okay.
Just killing it. Killing it. All right.
It gets better from here, I think.
It
So let's go. Let's move to TJ Jazzy Jeff.
TJ Jazzy Jeff. Now look, I know him. I know what he's picking. We're a sports family. Canon is going to the fields. Canon, what's TJ Jazzy Jeff?
When he's loud and obnoxious at the field.
Okay, Brandon, you don't want to get picked off. Get on the bag. No outs, Brandon. Get on the bag. Get on the bag! I will chain you to a pipe in a crawl space if you don't get on the bag. Now get on that bag.
Yeah, you got some impersonations?
So
when I'm either coaching or being a dad for you guys, what am I doing?
You're like, hey, get the ball.
Yeah.
Hey, get it.
I know the one I say a lot for Canon. Run! Run! He said, Dad, you're so obnoxious at the field sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, and he said, Andy, he said, I like it. I think it's hilarious when you do it to Carson, but it's not so hilarious when you do it to me. All right, Zoe. What is your TJ Jazzy Jeff? That's third on our mountain. It's the third guy on the mountain. It's our second one today. We're going to finish our first half. Mm-hmm. What is funny that your dad does? What is something funny?
He does funny dad jokes.
Want to hear a joke about construction? No. That's okay. I'm still working on it.
Funny dad
jokes. Do you have any examples?
What's one?
One of them, why is the chicken so funny? Because?
Oh, we saw that. We saw that.
Yeah.
We saw that.
We were originally do jokes, right?
Yeah, but then we took it off.
Yeah, and dad jokes is another rite of passage, Andy.
Listen, here's the thing. I enjoyed dad jokes before I was a dad. But I think it's because my dad, that was his sense of humor. That is his sense of humor still too. So I'm glad that I will tell you this, and Zoe, you could probably be honest here. 90% of the dad jokes I say don't land. But
yeah, they don't.
The key is to be consistent.
Canon was racking his brain for 4 dad jokes. And his favorite was
knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow who?
He's even no, I don't know about that.
No.
All right, so TJ Jazzy Jeff, my jokes. I'm glad that my jokes are funnier than my farts. So that's good. That's good about that. So let's hey, we're halfway through the mountain. You know what that means, Kirk?
We're gonna check out a commercial. Let's go.
I walked into the kitchen yesterday and I said to my dad, "Hey, I'm hungry." And my dad said, "Hi, hungry. I'm Dad."
Well, we were having dinner and Dad spilled his peas on the table. He looked right at me and said, "Oh no, I have just peed on the table.
Dad asked me, have you heard about the new movie, Constipation? I was all like, what? No. And he said, it never came out. Who even calls a movie Constipation?
My dad and I were going past the aquarium. He said to me, how many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? And he said, 10 tickles. Like, what? Oh, tentacles. Hey Dad, can you make me a sandwich?
And what did Dad say?
Abracadabra. You are a sandwich. I guess I am a sandwich.
All right, welcome back, Rushmore Community, from the commercial break, halfway through our mountain, talking about things that are funny about our dads, well, about us today with Zoe and Canon, and we will now move into Link for Canon. Canon, what's your next one on the list? Number 2 on your mountain.
When my dad sings in the car badly with weird voices.
Oh, God in a barrel, man. Ooh. God in a barrel, man.
Like this. When it's a girl. And when it's a rapper.
So I have perfected the hum jargon of just ignoring the words and making sure I stay in tune. Something my dad passed down. Now, if it's a really good song, we really jam, don't we? Yeah. I know Andy does this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I sing, but I know all the words for the most part.
Yeah, unfortunately, Andy is a professional singer and drummer, so he knows most of the words. So there you go.
Hey,
that's why I hired him to be a worship leader, and he hired me to be a softball coach. All right, Zoe. Link. What's your number 2 on the mountain, kiddo?
It's funny voices.
Gosh, it's Father's Day, Maxie. So let's do some impressions of some fathers, I guess. Except for Jerry. He sucks. But tell you what, that better be propane that I'm smelling.
So a lot of people want me to do Peter Griffin all the time, but everybody does Peter Griffin, so not gonna do it. Oh crap, I just did it.
Funny voices? So when I speak in funny voices.
Do a funny voice.
Oh, the crab. So there's a crab in a cartoon that they do that's, his name is Carlo! He does that. So to explain that, and I don't know if I've ever shared this before. Maybe this is the first time. When I was young, I was very interested and wanted to be a voice actor.
I think you passed by this.
Maybe I've talked to you about it before. I don't know if I've ever shared it on the Rushmore, but I mimic voices on television programs and things that we watch together pretty often.
Now I have a bit of a science question with this.
Oh, okay.
I see those memes. You ever see those memes where it's like how I feel I'm singing and how I
yeah.
When I do the voices, when I do a voice that I think I'm nailing it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently I'm not, because my family tells me otherwise.
Well, no, I get that, because if you've ever listened to, and when I listen back to even like the Rushmore Show, I'm like, do I sound like that? So, you know what I mean? And I know everybody has that exact same feeling. I know Zoe, when we did the girl dad, like the first episode, she's like, I talk like that, So, but I do enjoy voices. I've always enjoyed speaking and talking, and it's comedy. I love comedy, so mimicking that, doing impersonations, doing different accents and things.
Comedy was last week, and it was awesome. It was off the chain. Everybody loved it. Man, we're getting a great response. Christian was a great guest. And I think, honestly, if I was to pick a career role, I would probably want to be a comedian.
Yes.
I think my jokes are funnier than they are, but I really just
It's the key of a
enjoy.
good comedian right there.
I just enjoy speaking in front of people and trying to make people laugh. Maybe I might have been a good party clown then. Yeah, maybe that would be better.
Okay. So we're
to the George already.
At the top. At the top. Now this is a lot here, Canon. Number one, the most funny thing or embarrassing about your dad. What is it?
I think this is a consensus with the family, right?
Actually, this is both.
A consensus with the family.
When Dad yells at the TV when he's watching football.
I think that's a catch. That's a catch. That is a catch. That's the catch.
So what's it sound like? What's it sound like?
Yeah, let's go! Yeah!
So okay, listen. I'm a product of my dad, and I'm sure he will be as well. The television has a internal mic that goes right to the coaches, the referee, and the players. And I am allowed to phone in plays. I'm allowed to phone in decisions and discussions, and I'm allowed to reverberate to them how terrible I think they're playing. And I cheer them on. They're my best friends. I mean, I'm a part of this team. It's my team.
And also, I meant to say this part with it. And when he yells it, it's like he's actually at the game.
Yeah.
How else are they going to hear you from all the way?
I mean, I got to be loud. I mean, so this weekend they're in Phoenix. I got to yell loud enough to get from here all the way across the country. All right, Zoe, what is your dad's number one thing that he does that is hilariously funny? It sounds like it's funny already because you already got it laughing.
First of all, I'm surprised farts was not number one, but I'm glad. So what is the George? What's number one, Zoe?
But George is his dancing in the car.
Yeah, so I, talk about my dancing. How good is it? Middle?
It's kind of that's
like
a
okay. That's respectable. That's okay.
This is how he dances. Can anybody do that? That's how he dances.
Andy, do we need a beat so we can see how you dance?
Yeah, give me a beat. Come on.
Okay, yeah, that proves it. Okay, you can stop dancing.
So let me tell you this too. So
white men can't dance.
From my dad, it's 100% from my dad, which is, hey, we're talking about funny things from my dad, and Zoe's talking about me, Candace's talking about you. But my dad he would always Friday nights at our house, we'd have music playing and stuff, and he would just he is the whitest man when it comes to dancing. So I get that from him, but it's all in fun. And I think it all goes to comedy. It's about making people laugh. I'm not at all I'm some professional dancer / singer / whatever.
Order.
Well, maybe that, but it's just fun. Look, Canon was getting down just now. I see that dance move. Come on.
This is like drumming.
Here's a funny story about dancing. I in college my major was PE, so we had to take a bunch of.
I thought you were about to tell me your major was dancing.
No, but watch this. We had to take a class as part of the degree that was how to teach dance, if we were ever to have to do that. And we all had to get a dance from a global dance from somewhere, and we had to learn it, but also be able to teach it to a bunch of the other PE majors that were there in the room as well. And I got some dance from Japan. It's like a rain dance from Japan. It was something crazy, right? Not the Macarena. I couldn't even tell you what it is. Yeah, kind of like that. But it was a Japanese rain dance. And I remember the day I was leaving this class, the professor was like, Andrew, has anyone ever told you you're just a naturally gifted dancer?
No!
Like, you know what? You know what? No one's ever told me that, but thank you. So, I've taken that compliment. I'm a words of affirmation person, and I've lived on that for about 15 years. So
I can attest. I've seen you dance maybe twice ever, maybe once, twice, but I have this distinct view of you kind of moving around a little bit, maybe at church or something. I know what it looks like. You are naturally gifted. It's just not at dance. Awesome show. Thank you guys for coming on. So look, Rushmore Community, this is our kids. They are, go Canon, how old are you?
7.
What do you like to do?
I like to play sports.
Play sports? You play, what sports?
Karate, basketball. I'm about to play football, baseball, and soccer.
That dude is an athlete. Good job, Zoe. So how old are you?
I am almost 9.
And what do you like to do?
I like to play with my sister, and I like to dance.
There's something specific. So Canon has 2 sisters, and I hear really soon you're going to have something in common that you are going to have.
I'm having a baby sister.
Yeah. 2 sisters. Let's go.
3 girls in the girl dad house, man. It's a blast.
She's about 2 years old. She's coming on the channel.
When she's 2, she's going to come on the channel?
Yeah. All right, Rushmore Show. Thank you for coming and visiting us and seeing these amazing kids. Thank you for celebrating them. Tell them how much you love them down in the comments. And one way that you can support them is going to check out their show, Girl Dad, Retro Canon, and going to see what they do. Support them, share, like, subscribe to them as well. Subscribe. That's a funny thing Dad does. It says words weird. Subscribe. Yeah. All right, Rushmore Community. Time for our second segment. And we decided, since the kids are now off into bed, and that they have given us an amazing Rushmore of some funny things about us. Me and Andy kind of thought it'd be good to kind of let you guys know about our dads and some funny things that kind of happen with our parents, right? And so, Andy, we have decided that we've each got 4, and we're going to kind of Benjamin style it, right? So kind of quick running through, but tell a couple stories maybe, but not really take over the whole podcast, because really this one's about our kids, and we had a lot of fun. So Andy, you want to start us off? What is one thing that your dad did that was funny?
Okay, so this was an experience with me. Okay, so I have a few stories that I remember telling. And somewhere in, I think, my dad's 40s or so, so let me say this. For the longest time, for my whole life, he has always had a boat. He's always fished. That's just a part of what he does. But somewhere in his 40s, he sold a boat and bought a 1972 Chevy SS Nova. It was kind of this, maybe a midlife type thing or whatever it was. But I remember the funny thing is, like, a specific story. I remember going and driving with my dad to go pick up this car or to go test drive it. Or I don't know. It was some guy he knew from work or whatever. But it was in this backwoods country place. I can't even remember where we were, but I just knew there was a lot of trees everywhere and dirt roads, right? But he took this Nova, and the Nova had to get a lot of work done on it, but there was no passenger seat in it. There was only a milk crate in there. So I sat on the milk crate, and he took off on this dirt road, and I flew to the back of the car. And I just, it was a funny moment with me and my dad. And it's a story we still tell and whatever. You know, when I think about my kids having like car seats and stuff, I was sitting on a milk crate in a Nova in a country road. Anyway, so just fun time.
My number one story, and it's actually kind of reminded me because of Canon and Zoe. Both of them mentioned that you dance in the car and I sing in the car. And that was one of my favorite things about my dad. And, I guess if we're doing Rosie style, this is probably my least funny. but it was something very memorable to me, and I'm kind of given the story because of their top four. But my dad used to put his hand up, and I can't even do it. I've tried it before, but my dad used to put his hand on the top of the whatever, and he'd put on his oldies, and he would make his bicep flex to the beat. And I can't do it.
Like
I cannot do it. But my dad used to just flex his muscle while he was driving to the beat of the song.
That's
and
impressive.
I remember, like, he thought he was the coolest thing. And as a young kid, I would be just like, that is so awesome. So because I thought it was so cool, he kept doing it. But yeah, oftentimes when I think of like singing in the car, my dad also did that weird thing where, like, if a girl's singing, he would try and sing higher or try and sing lower or whatever. That's kind of where I got that. But that arm flex was something else. I it's vividly stuck in my brain about a car drive.
So this is a funny thing that we've always known. So my dad is big on grilling, and I think it's a big reason why I have enjoyed grilling, and I still to this day do. Something about being a man. I know we talked about that in Man Card, but my dad would cook those things, and even to this day, he is the slowest eater in the world. And so first of all, here's the thing, and I get this, I think, from him too, but like after he would grill and cook something on the grill, he would wait like 40 minutes before he ate his food. Not because he didn't want it hot, but it's like he was so hot from grilling that he was just like, ugh, whatever. So then when he would get his food, I'm not even kidding, he'll take a bite.
One eternity later.
And then he would have another bite. It's like, Dad, what is going on? Like, you're thinking, I know he's chewing his food thoroughly, but always the slowest eater.
So I guess I'd have to look it up, but there's a certain amount of time you're supposed to chew your food, like 20, 25 or something like that. My grandmother used to count how many times she chewed her food before she swallowed. Yeah. And dude, sometimes I'm a 1, 2, or 3. Like, as soon as it gets soft enough to go down, there it goes. Yeah. Later.
Yeah. So funny. It's just it may not be funny to anyone else. It's just, like, it's one of those things. Slow eater.
I hear you. Look, let me just tell you, we almost did jokes today.
Yeah.
And jokes were kind of hard to figure out. What's your top 4? I mean, usually jokes are kind of like what's in the now, like whatever it is. What's the best one you've ever heard? I can't remember jokes anymore. I used to remember them all the time. But let me tell you, one of the funniest things about my dad, and it's very well known. Now, go back to early 90s, right? When computers were just coming out. My dad loved the chain email jokes that used to come across there. And most of them were naughty. Most of them were not safe for work, right? And my dad has this incredible knack when he tells a joke that he can never finish it. He can't finish it. He's laughing from the beginning to the end at like high level laugh, crying, like peeing himself type laugh. And my family is all dying laughing because we're waiting but he would do all this. And dude, I'm telling you, my dad had the greatest sense of humor. But when I think of funny things about my dad, I see my dad right now, like laughing about a joke. And then when the punchline comes out, we're like, it wasn't as funny as you made it, But yeah, just laughing at jokes. And yeah, that's a big reminder for me. That would be what I would put second on the list.
My dad, like Hollywood dads always have like these like moments where they sit down with their son and they have this deep conversation and on the couch. Right. And we never really had like super deep conversations, but there are sayings, and this is my next one.
Dude.
Specific sayings that my dad has that I remember. And there's 2 that I'll mention. One, he said, "Son, the only time I ever want to see you smoking is if you're on fire." And I don't know why I've remembered that my whole life. And then the second one is while we're driving in a car, he'll say, "If you don't like my driving, get off the sidewalk." It's like, it's little things like that are just,
So I almost put this on mine, bro. I almost put this as one of my 4. I changed it last minute. It was, I guess, if we're going Benjamins, this is number 5. But my dad had some funny sayings. My dad, I said one today. There was a kid that said, "Mr. P, look how big my ears are." And I said, my dad used to say, "It looks like the taxi cab doors are open." But one of the things my dad used to say, and it stuck in my mind, is whenever he's trying to like stuff a lot of things like in a suitcase or whatever, he goes, "You call that a blivet?" 10 pounds of blank in a 5-pound bag. And I always thought he was lying about this. That a blivet was 10 pounds of whatever in a 5-pound bag. It's actually like Urban Dictionary. It is the definition.
When I was there at your house last time, we looked it up and it is a legitimate definition. So,
dude, so funny. But my dad used to say funny things like that all the time. Yeah, I almost put that one on. All right. So here's one. This is something I'll never forget, and I still have pictures of this over and over again. Every single year at Christmas, my dad was the guy that everybody had to get him a prank gift. Like, he got more prank gifts than I've ever seen in my life. I've got pictures of him wearing weird boxers, weird shirts. I mean, everything from soap on a rope to whatever, and just the joy of watching him get that, because he knew he was going to get them. But me, I fear when I get a prank joke. Like, I don't want you to make me the highlight of the party because you're giving me a joke. My dad, when he'd get it, he'd start to open, he'd start laughing again, like telling the jokes, because he knows that there's a prank inside. And it never embarrassed. He turned red, but just dying laughing. There's a picture that I have of him on my Facebook of him in elf pants. And it is the greatest thing ever. There's another time they bought him pants that were like a size 7X. And they're like plaid, Jinko style. Oh, man. But pranks. My dad receiving the pranks and just how he took them. That would be probably my number 2.
All right. Well, gosh, I was between 2 for my last one here. I'm going to do this one. And it wasn't necessarily funny at the time. But now that I'm a dad, I appreciate it and I can laugh at it some. Now, my dad, we would always, and I think this is really instilled in me, the whole, like, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late kind of mantra. My dad, if we were going somewhere, would rush us out of the house, would just be like, "All right, we got to go. We got to get ready. Put your shoes on, do this, whatever." And we would rush and we would get in the car. And I remember at a certain point, once we were in the car, we were like, "Where's Dad? Where's Dad at?" He would rush us to get into the car, and another 10 minutes would pass before he came and got in the car. And at the time, it's so frustrating. I'm like, why did he rush me? But I'm a dad. And I'm like, these were the first, like, he had 10 minutes of quiet in the house of nothing. He was already ready. It's not like he had to put his shoes on.
Look, my number 1, man, this is what I thought of when the kids were talking, and it immediately popped in my head about funny things my dad does. I've mentioned this about my dad. My dad's a great guy, hilarious. He has a few flaws. I've mentioned them before in the past, but my dad had the biggest funeral I've ever seen. And I mean, you would think he was like rock star status just because he was a good person. He impacted people. He wasn't a pastor or anything like that. He was a steel worker, for goodness sake. He was just a good guy. And my dad came from a pretty poorish side of the family. He dropped out in high school to kind of work for the family, and the highest he ever finished, I was like 8th, maybe 9th grade. But anyways, because of their job, my dad didn't have all the same doctors and, let's just say, dentists, right? And so my dad had pretty bad teeth, and at a young age, he got full on false teeth, maybe like I don't know when he got them, but probably mid 20s, early 20s. My dad had this funny thing where he would scare the grandkids by pushing his teeth out. And like an old man, like a very and he'd have them out here and he'd just be playing with his teeth and they'd be like, ah, they freak out because Papa Gnarless's teeth are out, or he'd take them out here. Here, you want to hold them? And put them back. And there's a video online. Actually, one of the last videos of him being alive, of him taking him out and his infectious laugh, trying to give him to my niece. And it's hilarious. I mean, it is one of my dad's shticks. If you're around, you know it. He's going to try and hand you his teeth. And he didn't care. Like, he just didn't care. Okay. But thank goodness my family has not gotten his bad teeth. But it is that's my pop. Great talking about our dads, man. That's fun. Yes. Andy, what a great show it has been. We have heard from our kids. Now, we only have 2 kids left to make the show. We got McKenna, who's coming up soon, and sooner or later we'll have to get old Millie on. But it is time to end the show and tell everybody goodbye. Until next time. Andy, how do we do that?
This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top 4
and nothing more.
And nothing more.
Peace!